Hey Gaston, you got any Lego games?
Why, of course I have Lego games. What can I get you? Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. It had a resurgence in fame recently.
Nah, I've already played that.
Oh, really? Well, then in that case, may I interest you in Lego Batman the video game? It doesn't nearly get as much fame as it should.
Nope, I've played that too.
Ah, I see you are a very busy man. Well, then might I suggest Lego Pirates of the Caribbean? It is a very fun swashbuckling adventure.
Are you kidding? I hate pirates.
Alright, you say get your drift. Maybe you are not as much of a wee person anymore. Well, maybe I should suggest to you Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. It's just as large as the original.
100%, all characters, all vehicles, all collectibles.
You did what?
Yeah, I kinda had a summer to burn. Hey, what about that game in the green case over there?
Ah, yes. You are eyeing up the, Xbox games. Well, then you must want Lego Indiana Jones, one of the original games.
Nope, I've played that too. I guess I just have played a lot of Lego games, Gaston.
Oh, sorry, my bad. You must be talking about the newest game, Lego DC Super Villains. It is so much different than all the other games.
Well, it's not what I was looking for, but I mean, I haven't played it. I guess I have room for 2 games. But no, what about that other one over there, the last one on the pile?
No, I am afraid that one is not for sale.
But Gaston, it's on your pile of games to sell. Besides, it's a Lego game. It can't be that bad.
But no, you mustn't. It is the worst Lego game ever made. It is a curse to all of mankind. No one should ever play that game. Do not do that to yourself. You're too young, far too young.
Thanks for looking out for me, Gaston. But I think I'll be the judge of that. Oh, hi. Man, that crazy French Gaston guy told me that game was the worst Lego game ever, which I find hard to believe because all Lego games are pretty much really good. Well, anyways, let's see what it's like. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is not good. I shouldn't show you. Well, you have to know what it is. It's absurd, preposterous. So, Lego The Incredibles. Traveler's Tales released Lego Incredibles. I think I want to say 2018, whenever it was in sync with The Incredibles 2 movie. So this video, it's not really going to be a review. Well, kind of. I'm going to be covering some things that are a little bit different about Lego Incredibles, that sets that a little different from other games, and at the end I'll decide, like, is it really a bad game? So it's gonna kind of be almost in the form of like a top 10 video. There might not necessarily be 10 like entries, but it's just different things that are a little bit different in the game that I observed. Alright, so for licensing, I'm not really gonna count this part against the game at all. When I first found out that they were doing an Incredibles Lego game, I was a little bit confused. Like, Lego has that license. They can do, like, it's just that they never really did, like, animated. They never did, like, a video game about, like, animated movies or TV stuff before.
Oh, you don't count. Go back into the ground where you belong.
So yeah, I was a little confused why they're making like a Lego game based off of an animated movie. And that's when I remembered that The Incredibles is also copyrighted by Disney Pixar. This situation just keeps getting more and more confusing. But wait a minute. There are other Lego licenses that are also owned by Disney, like Star Wars, Marvel Comics, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And also, all 3 of those licenses have Lego games. So, Is The Incredibles a weird license to have Lego games, let alone Lego sets? No, not necessarily. But because Marvel, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Star Wars were all technically bought by Disney, The Incredibles license for Lego is really only the first pure Disney license. Actually, now that I think about it, The Incredibles was originally made by Pixar. The Incredibles was also made in 2005. Pixar was bought by Disney a year later in 2006. So actually, there was still never been a Lego game based off entirely of a Disney movie. Each Lego game is known for having a huge plethora of characters to play from. And that meant that there are a lot of cool ways to unlock characters. In the older games, normally when you would complete a level, and there weren't that many levels in the older games, when you would complete a level, you'd get a few characters that you immediately had, and then some characters that were unlocked, but you still had to purchase them, and then the coins that you collect through levels you can use to purchase characters. Now, in the newer games, when they have a little more of a free roaming element, notorious examples are like Lord of the Rings, or I think like The Hobbit, most of the Marvel and later DC games. All of these even Lego Pirates of the Caribbean had elements where you could walk around and unlock characters just by doing mini games or stuff. And that meant that there could be a lot more characters that you could unlock and different ways to unlock them. But then we get to Lego Incredibles, and they messed it up. So here's how you unlock characters in Incredibles. When you complete a level, you'll still get some characters that you don't need to buy, and they'll come near the top. But then, the characters that you have to buy, they don't tell you what they are. And even sometimes, the characters don't even have anything to do with the level you just played. Now, while we're on the topic of the characters, I noticed that there's a lot of just irrelevant characters. Listen, I don't want to play as the old lady that Mr. Incredible gets the cat from the beginning of the movie. I don't want to play that. I don't need 4 different versions of Frozone or Mrs. Incredible. I don't need that, okay? But now you're probably wondering, how do you not know what you're getting? And it's because when you finish a level, they'll tell you that you unlocked a blind bag. Okay. Now, I'd be willing to guess that these blind bags are reminiscent of the very successful Lego minifigures, which have gone for almost like 20 series and lots of different spin-offs. Very successful. And I love Lego minifigures, so that is a nice tie-in, but it doesn't quite work. So the blind bags are separated into 3 categories. There's red bags, silver bags, and gold bags. Red bags have most of, like what I said, kind of the lame characters that don't really do much. They don't really fit. Silver bags is more, I think that's probably more where you'd see, like, characters that are actually, like, key parts of the story. And then gold bags are the fun stuff where you get, cool characters you don't really see in the movies, but they're like superheroes. So why is this bad, you might wonder? It would have been great if you could just buy as many of the bags as you please, but for each of the red, silver, and gold categories, it tells you how many bags you can buy at that time. And if you buy all of them, you'll get a message saying collect more bags. Wait, that doesn't make any sense, though. So basically, you have to complete levels again, or maybe get 100% on some stuff, and that's how you collect bags. But I don't know. I don't get that. I don't know. I commend Lego for maybe, trying to stick its toes into the pool a little bit, try new stuff. It was a smart idea. It just doesn't work, and it takes well, I don't know if it takes a lot longer. The contrast is, and I'll talk about this later, is you get a lot of coins a lot faster. So it might seem like it takes the same amount of time. So, as you might have guessed, Lego Incredibles is one of those games where it has a huge open world. In fact, I'd even go as far to say it's probably about as big as all of the Lego Marvel games as open worlds. But there's this new thing called Crime Waves. And basically, the map of the open world map of Incredibles, which is, I think, called New Urbum. I don't know what name it is. But it's divided into different districts, like an actual city, like in some of the Lego Marvel games. But the Crime Wave is, in different districts, one at a time, each district will be like flashing red on the map, and that means that there's a crime wave going on in there. And crime waves is like kind of like not a mini game, but like a side mission you have to complete, and then that's how you get the other different, like how you can unlock like red bricks in that area, or how you can unlock, all this stuff in that area. Like in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, you'd walk up into an area and there'd be like a computer you'd access, and then that would put a bunch of different stuff on the map, and that was really good. But what's the problem with crime waves, you might ask? They're tedious as heck! Basically, if you accidentally walk into one of the districts with a crime wave going on, you have no choice. You are immediately sucked into it. Normally, you have a choice to, choose when you want to do that mission, but immediately, when you walk in, the mission starts without anything happening. And technically, you can leave the area and do other stuff, but it doesn't have the same feeling because you have it in the back of your mind that you should be doing something else. So basically, a crime wave is you'll walk into the district with a crime wave, and there will be like a news report, kind of like in Lego Batman 2. It'll a news report, they talk about the crime wave, they explain who's behind it, the bad guy, what they're doing, and then you have to do a bunch of different side missions in this crime wave. And a lot of them are the same, protecting civilians, beating up bad guys. You don't know how many times you have to defuse 3 bombs. That happens so many times, and you can just tell it's just blatant filler. And there's some crime waves where at the end you'll fight a boss, and then you'll beat him, and then you'll unlock him. So actually, for something that's so annoying as crime waves, you actually get a lot of stuff from those crime waves. So I don't want to talk a lot about, because a lot of the stuff that spring from crime waves is stuff I talk about. So there's some crime waves, like I said, where you'll fight a boss and then you'll unlock that boss, and that's cool. But there are other in each crime wave, you get something called a Pixar family build. I'm not going to go into that because that's I'll talk about that in a different section of this video. But the thing is one of the other prizes when you complete a crime wave is a red brick. So, for all the Lego game fans out there, you probably know that a red brick is normally unlocked by doing some achievement in a level, or you just unlock it in a level, kind of the same way you unlock a mini kit, and it normally might give you something stupid, your character has a silhouette, or he's wearing a hat, or he slides around like he's on ice skates. But then other times they'll give you a bunch of stuff, good stuff, like stud multipliers, mini kit detectors, invincibility, all that jazz. And they're not hard to come by. But in Lego Incredibles, basically what I'm saying is in Lego Incredibles, you could collect almost all of the red bricks in probably under an hour if you just binge play all the crime waves, which I can't imagine anyone that would do that to themselves, but it's possible. And that's why, shortly within me playing the game, normally when I have a huge, crazy amount of multipliers, that's a part in the game where I've already completed all the levels. I'm going back and I'm getting 100% on all of them. But now, I was actually playing some levels in story mode for the first time with, stud multiplier 970. So I was, immediately getting true hero or whatever. that's good. That's the thing that I like about it. It made Incredibles a lot easier to play. Another good thing is on one of the main menus, it tells you actually how long you've played. And I've checked, I'm like not even close to playing for like 24 hours. I haven't even played the game for like 24 hours total. And I'm already like 60% done with the game. So you probably heard me mention something when I was talking about the crime waves about Pixar family builds. What is that, you might wonder? And what it is when you complete a crime wave, a Pixar family build will show up, and it's a pad where you do these builds, and I'll talk more about those builds later for different stuff. And you build, when you go on that pad, you hit a button, and you do like it like a button mashing thing, kind of reminiscent of like role-playing games. And then you build, it builds like a bunch of different stuff, varying things from Pixar movies, and then you get a blind bag, that you don't have to pay for, and you open it, and there's a Pixar character inside that fits with whatever you build. So you get a bunch of characters. You get like Woody from Toy Story, Flick from A Bug's Life. You get Sully from Monsters Inc., Dory from Finding Nemo. You don't really get any Incredibles characters because the game is about Incredibles, right? You get Lightning McQueen from Cars. You get Linguini and Remy from Ratatouille. You get Wall-E. You get Russ from Up. You get Spot from The Good Dinosaur. You get Miguel from Coco. You get Merida from Brave. That's like 11 Pixar characters from almost every single Pixar movie you get, and they all have different abilities, and it's awesome. I'm a Pixar nerd. I'm nerding out right now playing this game. That's another great part of the game. It's just really, really awesome. So the Pixar Family Build is what's called an Incredibuild, which is a new feature in the Lego Incredibles game that I don't know. So in each level, there's something that they have called an Incredibuild. I think that's what it's called. There'll be a part in that level where you run around the scene collecting Incredibricks, which are very easy to collect. They're rainbow colored. They look really cool. You just collect them. You normally have to collect like 3 to 5, and then you go onto this pad and you build something that you need. It's kind of tedious. I don't know. And then all across the Municiberg and New Urbum, that kind of like free roaming area, there is like 100 of these Incredibricks, and at least in like Lego Batman 3 or the Marvel games, you actually had to kind of fight for gold bricks. You had to fight for this stuff, and in this game, they're really easy. Like, there's no, and it's partly that's good, because some of it's kind of frustrating, but there are no puzzles in the free roaming. You just you'll find, like, something in a tree, and then you just grab it. There are still, like, races, for example, those normally, the races are kind of frustrating. Can you say flying controls in Lego Batman 3, and oh my gosh, web slinging controls. You have to do, not to get off topic, but you have to do web slinging races in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and it's not the most, but one of the most frustrating moments ever in a Lego game. So bad controls. But anyways, these, you just run around and collect them, and they're tedious in the levels. They're kind of fun, I will admit, free roaming, but they're so easy to collect, and it's convenient. I'm not gonna say it's not convenient. It's nice. I feel like I'm actually getting stuff done, but I don't really think it's challenging me or anyone else as a gamer. Now this next part, it's not really a big deal. It's just something I observed that I wasn't a huge fan of. So there are 13 levels, right? 6 levels for one movie, 6 levels for the other movie, and then a bonus level that, if you remember in Lego Star Wars, in the original, you go into the cantina and there's like a mission where you have to destroy like a cityscape, and then if you do that correctly, you unlock Indiana Jones. But that, never mind that. The first 6 levels are about Incredibles 2. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know pretty darn well that Incredibles 2 came after Incredibles 1, because Incredibles 2 is called Incredibles 2. So, why is this a big deal to me? Because I guess I wanted to play this game chronologically. For example, when I got Lego Indiana Jones, I could have started with The Last Crusade, but I didn't. I wanted to start with the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Same thing with Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I could have started with At World's End or On Stranger Tides if I really wanted to, but guess what? I was going to start with The Curse of the Black Pearl. So, now in this one you can't. You have to do Incredibles 2 first. And I haven't even seen Incredibles 2, so I don't really have any nostalgic appeal to it. So I was just I was going along with it. So I had to play 6 levels before I could actually get to, like, stuff in the Incredibles plot line that I understood. That, like, you know, I know this, I get this. This was part of my childhood. I'm not going to condemn the developers for choosing to put the sequel before the prequel, or not, before the original, I should say. I don't know. It didn't really sit well with me. You know, call it OCD, call it whatever. It should have been chronologically in order, if you ask me. Now, rest assured, there are flying characters. It's just, it takes a long time to get one. So, a lot of the flying characters are in gold or silver blind bags, and it takes a lot longer to unlock one of those. Because, you know, none of the Incredibles characters can fly. Actually, Elastigirl can glide, but she has to be she has to be higher up to do it. Same thing with Frozone, which kind of ticked me off, because in cutscenes, Frozone has a little platform thing, and he's obviously flying on that, but then in the game, when you have him, he only glides on that. He can't use that to fly. For most people, I don't know if this is going to be true, but for most people, I'd say the first character that can fly that they unlock is Apogee, and then maybe Splashdown. These are, you know, characters in the Incredibles universe. But I was super impatient, because a bunch of, like, the Incredibricks and stuff who were, like, on top of signs or in trees that before, you know, I think I could have reached them, with double jump characters, but I actually had to summon, like, a car, and then summon a van, or, like, a bus, jump on the car, then jump on the bus, just to get to that. And it really annoyed me, because you shouldn't have to do that. So, actually, what I ended up doing was I ended up going to Edna Mode's house, which is where the customizer character area is, and I just made a character that could fly, and I named him Animus. It was really cool. I used him a lot, and then I got those other characters, and I was like, oh, okay. So now I have a bunch of characters that can fly, but it took me a long time to get to them, and it just frustrated me, because there are stuff that you need a character that can fly, and it wasn't really giving me that. So I was like, it was just frustrating. So is Lego Incredibles really the worst Lego game? No, and here's why. Lego games are awesome. It's hard to mess up a Lego game. And sure, Lego Star Wars, maybe even Lego Batman are, older, so they might seem kind of dull, but, that's ageist in video game terms. Lego Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I'm not a Tolkien person. I don't like Lord of the Rings. I tried getting into it. Didn't like the movies. Couldn't read the book. I was in 6th grade. It was rough reading the book. So, there's not, you know what I mean? Like Lego games, they have, they have some stuff. Lego Harry Potter. That was, it was very similar to Lego Incredibles in the sense that it stepped out of the box. It had, the spells. It had the stuff. Some of the controls, yeah, they were a little touchy. There's some parts now that I don't know, like, how to get through them. That's an older, more archaic game too. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Actually, I'm trying to think. There's like almost like nothing bad. I have like nothing against Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I started playing it again recently, and it's actually become one of my favorite games. And I love how in the beginning of this video, I was like, "Ooh, I hate pirates," because I mean, like, it's a good game. Some of the newer games, like Lego Marvel Superheroes, that's one of my all-time favorite games. That's another one where, it was the first game that really like was big. Like, it was big, you know what I mean? It had a huge open world, and that made some stuff difficult. And it's the same exact situation for Lego Marvel Superheroes 3, Lego Batman 3, and then Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, by far the most frustrating Lego game. But it's a great game. It's if you ask me, it's a masterpiece. I love Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 because the open world is so ginormous. The races are numbingly frustrating. There's a bunch of stuff, each Lego game is unique. There's a lot of stuff in Lego Incredibles that makes it unique. Do I like it and respect that as a game? Yeah. Is it fun to play? Yeah. Is there some stuff that's frustrating? Heck yeah. But it's a Lego game. That's the defining factor. It's a Lego game. And it's beautiful. So, in conclusion, Lego Incredibles is not the worst Lego game. But I want to know what all of you guys watching, what your favorite and least favorite Lego game is in the comments below. And also make sure, if you haven't yet, to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you'll get notified for new videos. Thanks. Bye.